Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I want to begin this video by asking you guys a very simple question. And I expect a simple answer. What do you think are the options left for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? That one option. Let me be a bit straight or direct. Between Ruto and Raila, who do you think Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka should join? Or where do you think he will add value? Is it in Kenya Kwanza? Or is it in Azimio la Umoja movement? I'm waiting for your answer. Because personally, if you ask me, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has exhausted all his options, but is left with only one option. Going back to Raila Odinga, a wounded man. Kalonzo Musyoka is wounded, and it's only Raila Odinga who can help him nurse the wounds. Yesterday, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka shared photos of himself in his farm in Yatta, very big farm, something which I really admire. Kalonzo Musyoka took a 1-week break from politics. At the end of that break, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is expected to either embark on his presidential campaigns or join either Kenya Kwanza or Azimio. I want to put a bet. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is going to rejoin the Azimio la Umoja movement in case he's not going to go up to the ballot. In this video, I want to demonstrate to you guys why personally I strongly believe that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka wasted himself and will be forced to go back to Raila Odinga. Before we do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us get back to business. On the day Raila Odinga was unveiling Karua as his presidential running mate, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was also acting some drama in Karen. In fact, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka waited up to almost the time Raila Odinga was making the announcement for him to also begin his announcement. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka actually unveiled Karua before Raila Odinga unveiled Karua. And after that event, he announced that he was going to take a break from politics. And a lot of things have been happening. I want to assure you that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has completely been isolated, and therefore will be forced back to Azimio. He made several mistakes. Kenya Kwanza is already locked. Azimio, he has an offer which he can only purport to renegotiate. And we also know that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka's announcement that is running is not true. Kalonzo Musyoka is not running for the presidency. Kalonzo Musyoka is just managing the Kamba nation. The truth of the matter is that Kalonzo Musyoka was in One Kenya alliance. Mudavadi and Rectangular went and joined Ruto. Kalonzo Musyoka was then left with the rest. Gideon Moi even attempted to negotiate with him on that day. Yesterday, Kanu announced that they will be fully in Azimio. Jirongo, Azimio. David Ochieng, Azimio. David Ochieng is the MDG party leader, also in Azimio. The only person remaining in Kenya Kwanza, in One Kenya, is Kalonzo Musyoka. But why do I believe that Kalonzo Musyoka will have no option than to join Raila Odinga? Number one, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is yet to initiate the process of exiting Azimio la Umoja movement formally. You know, it's one thing to say that you are running and submit documents to IBC. It's also one thing to formally exit a coalition. The law is very clear that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is signed Azimio la Umoja coalition agreement as wiper. It's also other thing that Kalonzo Musyoka was part of One Kenya Alliance coalition. So why is Kalonzo Musyoka? He's in a fixed. Kalonzo Musyoka is actually in a fix. He can't move left, he can't move right. And that explains why Daniel Manzo has been trying to go to the court. Even that court, they are yet to go to. Only 8 days left for him. And because Kalonzo Musyoka signed that Azimio la Umoja coalition agreement, he's going nowhere. He knows that what he's subjecting his supporters to is just management of their expectation. So I want to assure you that Kalonzo Musyoka next week at 1 will finally come to Azimio. The only thing we'll attempt to do is to purport to renegotiate. Because it was Raila Odinga nominated him as the chief cabinet secretary. His team are saying that that position is not in the constitution, which is okay. But again, he can't renegotiate it further to be included in a document which his team already signed. So Kalonzo Musyoka will come back to Azimio. Number two, Kalonzo Musyoka is now an isolated man. The man who was still standing next to Kalonzo Musyoka was Gideon Moi. Gideon Moi made it clear. In fact, I've always said here that there are certain politicians, you don't need to listen to them speaking. You just need to monitor their people. Nick Salat was very categorical. When Martha Karua was being unveiled, he was very categorical that KANU will be in Azimio.
Mimi nimesema congratulations mama. Mukiniona hapa, kitu moja nataka kuambia nyinyi. Kutokuwa na msimamo ni kitu mbaya sana. Kutokuwa na msimamo ni kitu mbaya sana. Ni kitu mbaya sana. Hata mama, hata ukiomba. Mimi naambia nyinyi kutokuwa na msimamo ni kitu mbaya sana. Mimi niko hapa na nataka kuhakikishia.
While he was making that announcement, Gideon Moi was trying to manage Kalonzo Musyoka in Karen. So the fact that Gideon Moi has now officially joined Azimio, I can assure you, the guy is the man who was funding One Kenya. It was expected that if Kalonzo was going to run alone, he would support him there. The departure of Gideon Moi from Kalonzo Musyoka will force Kalonzo to follow Gideon Moi. Mark that. Number 3 is what I call the Martha Karua momentum. You know, Martha Karua's entry into the presidential running mate equation, complicated equation for Kalonzo Musyoka in so many ways. Number 1, Martha Karua was one of the One Kenya Alliance leadership. Kalonzo Musyoka undertook to support whoever will be nominated as long as they are coming from One Kenya. Raila Odinga, being strategic, went and picked Martha Karua. So when Kalonzo Musyoka started making noise, then it was not about One Kenya. It was about Kalonzo Musyoka, the individual. And the moment Martha Karua was nominated, she has really worked so hard, campaigned hard, and all the limelights are now from every other person to Martha Karua. So if Kalonzo Musyoka thought that he was the only guy, because Kalonzo Musyoka kept on saying that if Raila Odinga wants to win, he must nominate him. then Martha Karua has proved him wrong. That Raila Odinga can actually win without him. And Martha Karua is delivering. The truth of the matter is that Kalonzo was going to bring 1 million votes to Raila. Martha Karua will bring the same votes. So Kalonzo Musyoka will have no option. Because the other fact is that even the Kamba nation are now tired being herded left, right, and center. So it's going to make a comeback because of the Martha Karua momentum. Number 4, in my view, I think if you look at the offer he's getting in One Kenya and the one is getting from, the one is getting in from Azimio and the one is getting from Kenya Kwanza, I don't think he'll get anything from Kenya Kwanza. The Secretary General, Veronica Maina, was very clear that Kalonzo Musyoka can join, but the top positions are already shared. So which means if he has to come, he will come under the terms of those people. Mudavadi has already negotiated 30% of government, which means Kalonzo Musyoka cannot come and demand 30%. Because I've also seen Rigathi Gachagua is also demanding 50%. 50%, you add 30% of Mudavadi, so that leaves Ruto with only 20%. Now, 20% will go to Kalenjin. Which percent will he get? 0%. But Azimio are telling him that you come for the chief cabinet secretary. It's open. And it's made public. you see, ile ya Raila na Kibaki was never made public. This one, Raila has made it public. So come and pick it. Okay, it's not in the constitution. Okay, can you ask your team to draft something there? So in my view, I tend to think that Kalonzo will not have any other option but to pick the offer from Azimio. Because he can't win the presidency. Ukambani is now under threat. Ruto, one side, Azimio, one side. His people are also telling him, you need to take a stand on these matters. Number 5, I think the Ukambani region is actually receptive to Raila Odinga's presidential bid. They've supported Raila Odinga 3 times. And because Ukambani is receptive, he would want to be seen to be the Ukambani kingpin. So that if he joins Raila Odinga and Raila Odinga managed to win the Ukambani, then those wins will be attributed to him. That's the fact. Remember, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is behaving the way he's behaving, not because of himself, but because of his key allies who are working for Ruto. But the ground is not that bad for Raila Odinga. And Kalonzo Musyoka, I don't think will be able to work with Alfred Mutua. I don't think we'll also be able to work with Johnson Muthama. So he has no option. And lastly is President Uhuru Kenyatta's factor in Musalia Mudavadi's politics. Uhuru Kenyatta has a lot of say in Gideon Moi and Kalonzo Musyoka's politics because of the relationship they built during the Kanu era. Uhuru is already out here campaigning and supporting Raila. He's been trying so hard to convince Kalonzo, but Kalonzo has been rebelling. But you see, time is coming when Kalonzo will have to make that decision, and that time is next week. So I think he's going to make the choice between Ruto and Uhuru. Because if it were about Ruto and Raila, Kalonzo would go with Ruto. Because he feels that he supported Raila enough. He also feels that Raila Odinga doesn't really appreciate him. And the fact that Raila Odinga has already decided to move with the Ukambani governors, I also tend to think because of that, Kalonzo would go with Ruto. But because of President Uhuru Kenyatta's factor around Raila Odinga's politics, he will have no option. But the fact is, he's coming to join Azimio, but wounded. He's not going to come with the advantage he would have received if he had negotiated. You see, when Raila Odinga was looking for running mate, instead of negotiating, he was all over Ukambani. How Raila Odinga cannot become president without his support. You know, he was going everywhere instead of negotiating, because he revealed that actually Raila Odinga went and told him that he's going to nominate Martha Karua. He ought to have negotiated at that point. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.